Procrastination. Procrastination is something that has been demonized. It's been looked down upon. It is something that is taboo, especially when you are an entrepreneur. You see, when you're an artist, a coach, a therapist, a singer, a writer, whatever entrepreneurial path you're taking, I'm sure at some point or another, you have been around the concept, heard, listened to something that says, you won't get anywhere if you procrastinate. Procrastination is wrong. You need to get yourself moving and motivated and get out of that slump. Well, I'm going to say something that probably will get some negative feedback, but I don't give a fuck because I'm living my life, and I encourage you to live your life based on your perception of the world, based on how you want to live, not based on other people's judgments, criterias, or expectations. So this thing called procrastination, what if, and I'm just what if procrastination was seen through the eyes of, you know what? I trust my body. I trust my mind. I trust myself. And if I don't feel like doing A, B, C, or D right now, if I have a creative block, if I'm just frustrated and just tired of pushing, I'm going to go shopping. I'm going to go watch Netflix. I'm going to go watch some sports. Hey, bravo. Because you know what? That means that you've realized, you know what? I am going to listen to myself. I do need a break. There's nothing wrong with that. But here's where it gets messy. Because what will happen is you'll take that break. You'll pump yourself up. No, I deserve a break. I have a creative block. I'll walk away from it. I'll come back. I'll be ready to go. But what happens is while you're taking that break, while you're shopping or you're watching Netflix or you're doing whatever you're doing, you're not being fully present in the moment. Instead, you're worrying about the fact that you're not actually working. You see, I said it gets messy. Subconsciously, if you truly are not trusting yourself and believe that a break is okay, you're not going to be present in the moment. And being present in the moment, that's why when you hear of meditation, mindfulness, when people stop to take breaths, it's basically meaning I'm focused on my breath. And if I'm focused on my breath, I'm not focused on the drama, the stress, the frustrations, the stuff that's going on around me. That's all. You might want to wonder, what is this breathing stuff? What is all this stuff? It's simple. It just takes your, excuse me, that was gross. It just takes your mind off of that stuff. But if you're not fully present and subconsciously, you're taking in the worry, the I should be doing this, I should be doing that. And then you begin to guilt yourself. Then you begin to judge yourself. I'm being lazy. I don't ever want to get anything done. And as that negativity builds, what you then find yourself in this messy situation is now you're deciding to take more and more time. You'll go back and try to do the work or do whatever you were doing. But because you didn't fully get that break, you're not fully focused on your work. And then it's a perpetual cycle. And before you know it, you have deemed yourself a procrastinator who never gets anything done. I want to encourage you. Stop the shenanigans. Shift your perspective. Who cares what everybody else thinks? This is you. Next time you're doing something and you're just, I don't even care if you have a deadline. If you can take 10 minutes away without guilt, without worry, without self-pressure, and take your mind off of what you're doing, you will be amazed at what happens when you actually come back and sit down and do what you have to do. If you sit down, whatever you're doing. You see, I never understood why people go off on vacations. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I feel like every time I come home from work, my home is my vacation. My home is my peace. I love my home. I love the way I have things set up. I'm relaxed and there's no stresses. However, I've done something, well, it's 2024 now. I did something in 2023. I went on 2 vacations by myself. In 2022, I took probably 6 months off completely not doing anything with my coaching business. When I did that, I had to fight myself with the thinking of, oh my God, why aren't you hustling and working hard? Because for 3 years straight, for 2.5 years straight, full-time job, come home, work on the business, training, clients, coaching, and I just kept going and going, and then I hit a wall. And see, what happens is when you don't take the little moments to get your breakaway or your so-called procrastination, then what happens is, before you know it, your body shouts loudly, I can't do anymore. And that's when you hear people have burnout, or that's when they just completely take time away. And I didn't think that I could succumb to burnout, but I realized I got to a point where I was like, I'm about to learn how to relax. I don't even care anymore. I cared, but I was depleted. I literally couldn't do anything. And I began to enjoy the freedom of not having that pressure on myself. But what came out of that, I completely shifted what I was doing, and I realized I had been building my dream of an entrepreneurial life based on whatever object. I don't want to say shiny object, because I believe that when we go and try different things, as long as we're learning, it's even if we don't stick with it, it's showing us that's not what I want to do. And what I've realized over the years is every time I try a business idea, I tell myself, oh, this is going to be it. This is going to be the one. I'm going to do this the rest of my life. And then I find out, no, I don't want to do this the rest of my life. But what happens from that realization is no success came from it. And I used to beat myself up. I'm a failure. I've tried businesses for over 20 years and nothing works. But it's not a failure. It helped me to realize what I don't want to do. I want a life where I wake up and I want to do my business. Once I have millions, it won't matter. I get up and I still do that because that's what I love. The only way you're going to find that dream business or job is to keep, you're not going to like this, failing, trying different things, building up who you are through those different failures and lessons. And I said all that to come to this point. These vacations I went on, I didn't realize I had kind of hit bumps in my business. But what happens is when I completely would get away, and even not on vacation, even I've learned to do this at home. When I take that time, I get to a point where like, okay, I start getting ideas. They just start coming to me. And I want to grab my laptop. I want to grab my notepad and I want to jot stuff down. I'm not forcing it. It's just pouring out of me. Why? Because I was able to be present and get away and give myself that freedom to breathe. Try it sometime.